Hello and welcome everyone, Jamie X66 here, just to go through another week of what I have been playing. Firstly, just a quick FYI, next week we probably won't have an episode of what I've been playing, going away for most of the week, so not sure if I'll have any time to play anything, let alone make a video about it, so let's try and make this episode a good one. So I've been playing 3 different things. Now, last week you saw me talk about Beyond Good and Evil a little bit. We're going to sort of finalize that discussion, seeing as I have finished it now. I know last week I only played it for a couple hours. I've gone through, I've got all the trophies. Like I said last week, I'm actually playing the PS3 copy of this, but there's no physical release, so I thought I'd represent it with the PS2 release. I absolutely love this game. I sort of am shocked that somehow I waited 13 years to actually play it, seeing as when I was young, you know, I didn't have money, so it was whatever the parents bought for me to play, which is mostly racing, sports games. Finally got around to playing it, finally finished it, and really loved it. I feel like the world itself was almost kind of ahead of its time, like almost the technology of where gaming was when this was released in 2003. Really couldn't realize what the world of Hillis and Beyond Good and Evil really was. So I think that's what's got me excited for the sequel, just because, you know, it's got these amazing graphics, it's got these worlds where it's like flying cars everywhere, space pirates. It seems like they're just going full mental with this is all the ideas, the concepts, and everything we envisioned, but we didn't have the technology to make back when the first game came out. Now, I will say, a lot more hesitant on the sequel just because I heard it's now always online. Now, I'm hoping it's still got a good story, because the trailers do sort of allude that there's a good story there, so fingers crossed. But in terms of the game, it's a lot of fun. The only real issues I had was the camera. You had a few issues where it's just like old school camera type thing, where it's a small situation, the camera gets lost a bit. Did cost me a few lives, but to be honest, it has a very good checkpoint system. You will never find yourself having to repeat big sections of the game if you do happen to die. A lot of the boss fights are very interesting and fun. Really, I'd have to say is one of the best factors of Beyond Good and Evil. It really emphasizes the fun. The stealth sections in the game are very intense. You never feel too strong, and during the stealth sections you can just be automatically one-shot killed if certain security devices and certain people notice you in the environment. It really gives you that sort of intensity of, I have to sneak through this section without being spotted, which I absolutely loved. And to be honest, games just don't do stealth sections like this anymore. You know, it's been a long time since we had a good Metal Gear game. Hitman's still around, but it's not as popular as it once was. So I completely recommend this if you got a PS2 lying around. If somehow you got a PS3, the digital HD remaster's there. There's no platinum trophy, but all the trophies do encourage you to do everything in the game. So I do encourage, if you want the most out of it, go after those trophies. It will shoot you in the right direction in terms of get the most out of the game. Secondly, if you know from my Game of the Year countdown last year, absolutely loved Moss for VR. Now, I went back to get the Platinum Trophy, which I did, which was Platinum Trophy 76. Now, there was a trophy when I played this at launch, because I played it for review for, I think it was Resident Entertainment. They asked me to review the VR game for them. When I played it, you know, there was no collectible guides or anything like that, so it was around release time. So, I was missing a few collectibles. There was also one trophy to go through without dying. So I was like, as much as I love this game, I don't think I can do that. But then I saw someone, I believe it was Cassie Dakota on Instagram, who actually went and did the platinum. So I was congratulating her, and she was just like, you can actually quickly exit out when you die to work around that to get the platinum trophy. So to be honest, I went through, got all the collectibles, blasted through the story, and to be honest, knowing everywhere I needed to go only took me about 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours to smash through. I think I died overall probably about 3 times. But you've got a good 5-second window to, you know, close the game off and try again. So, really happy to have that platinum. I couldn't recommend Moss enough. If you do have VR, it's one of the games that really does VR in a strong way. It really emphasizes, you know, the whimsical sort of stories you got when you were a kid. So I really do love Moss. It teases a sequel, so I really hope we get Moss 2 at some point. And if Polyarc Studios is somehow watching this, you do amazing, cool little statues that I really want to get a hold of. I've sent you tweets before. You said you can only get them at certain events and everything like that. Just put it for sale. I will buy it. So get that done. Money will be sent your way. Now, the third and final game I've been playing this week, as I spoke to you last week, Oxenfree. So I actually got the platinum for this one as well. So that was platinum 75 and then master 76. Another game I really love. Now, I've been going through a lot of backlog titles recently, and I'm really happy to finally get around to this one. I finally played it. Not really scary. I'd say it's more creepy. That sort of, you know, goosebumps, the hair on your arm just sort of standing up just a little bit because it's just a little bit on the creeps. It incorporates ghost, supernatural stuff. These kids, they go in spending a night on an island. There's 5 overall, really well-written characters, which I do like. You know, some games do teenagers and they write them pretty cringeworthy. One series being Life is Strange, which I do love, but they write for them almost like an adult trying to write for a kid, whereas this does feel like they're teenagers, and it feels more real because of it. What I love about it, it is by nature a walking simulator, but it does make every choice that you have in the game matter. Now, I'm not going to go too much into spoilers, but your choices do matter quite a bit, and the ending can be quite different depending on what you decide to choose, which I loved. When I went for the Platinum Trophy, you were encouraged to do different choices, and that's what made me really enjoy going for the Platinum. There was one run where you're not allowed to say anything as a character. Now, I will say that trophy kind of dragged a little bit because you had to wait for the dialogue options to disappear, wait for the scenes to play out, and you couldn't really interact with the scenes. So that trophy was a little bit of a pain just because it made the game longer and you couldn't really do anything in the game. But overall, really fun experience. Music is great, visuals are cool. As for an indie game goes, it is fantastic. I believe it's also on Switch as well if you're looking for this one, but I highly recommend it. Now, as I said, next week I'll probably be away, but there is 2 games I'm hoping to at least start before I head off. One being Psychonauts, which I have not played before, but I want to play before the sequel comes out. Now, it's on PlayStation 4, so I've downloaded that. Hopefully get around to playing that. And the second one is Catherine. Now, this has been in my backlog for a long time. Always wanted to play it. I remember back when I was following IGN, and Colin Moriarty was just pushing how great this game was. So I'm really looking to play that. Now, I do know it's quite difficult, so fingers crossed I can actually get through it. But yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. Now, just a quick little teaser. I do have an idea for a new video series coming out, which is more going to be gameplay focused with just some audio over the background. The working title is the Indie 15. What I want to do, showcase some cool indie games, which I know if you guys follow me on Instagram, JamieX66 over there, I love a good indie game, but I wanted a way to really showcase them, and putting them on photos, writing a review is one thing, but if I could show you some nice gameplay, a sort of more casual approach, show you that intro to the game, show you why it's awesome, then I'm doing something I want to do. So that's probably a series I'm going to be toying around with soon, so hopefully we'll have that going, we'll have Let's Chat going, and we'll also have what I've been playing. So we'll have constant videos coming your way. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, let me know what you have been playing below, what you think of the games I've been playing, and as always, keep on gaming.